Hey there folks, Dub here, and I'm here with a cool little item I got for Valentine's Day. My girlfriend forewent the card with the rose on it and the poem, or that she didn't write. So she said, hey, you know what you want? So I was looking online. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, if it's UCO or UCO, but they make these little candle lanterns. They're a bunch of different ones. Some of them just burn on those little tea lights. This is a candle that actually is full length inside the body here. It's supposed to be a 9-hour candle. I have already used it to test it out, but you can see back here there's a spring-loaded portion that then has kind of a readout to show you how much candle life you have left. Again, it's supposed to be about 9 hours. I didn't test that. I just let it burn for a while to see the feeding mechanism and how that worked. So the one I optioned for is around $25, $27 shipped is what I found it. The lantern itself, which this here is the original model, I want to say they go for about 20 bucks or so. You can find them in various places, sporting outlets. I went on eBay and just went and looked up some of the ones that were not too expensive. There was a particular kit and color I wanted. I optioned the red. It looks a little more like a pink in the light, but yeah, I don't mind. That's fine. And so I wanted the one that had the little foamy, brand named carrying case there. So this deal here itself, one of the reasons I like these, because if you've seen one of my other videos, I'd made the lantern out of the salsa jar, but the whole thing is glass, and so it's vulnerable. I like that one a lot, and it burns a long while. But this one here, obviously one of the cool parts about these candle lantern styles is they close down. And then you can take that portion, stick that in this little neoprene foam kind of case. I don't know if you're supposed to leave this bail on here or not, because the wires are kind of bent to a degree that they don't really come out very easily, so I just assume you're kind of supposed to. So I just put it over like such, and then you can just go ahead and tuck up the little hooked loop portion right up in there and throw it in a pack, and you're good to go. But we'll show you how this little deal works here, because they're quite simple and I like them. And then this portion back here is actually a little light reflector that you use in the area that has the candle readout portion. So you can stick it in there and it'll reflect to have the light going in one particular direction. I did the same thing with the one that I'd made with the tin foil, because that's where the label was, and so it stuck on real well. But I have that same option, so you can kind of point that one where you want the light to go. I don't like it going in my face. I like to be able to aim it. So we'll show you how this lights. It's pretty easy. You pull the whole top portion up here, this glass cylinder or globe. Just brace the top, pull that down, and then it slides down and the whole thing's open. You can then just get your lighter in there, light that portion right up. And you can see the candle whips around a lot while it's in there until you get the globe up. And it actually gets pretty steady little flame going there. And one of the things that the company talks about is that not only does this thing provide light, but there's a certain amount of heat and potential moisture removal. I know that fire, it uses up water in some way in some kind of process. I'm not, that up on it, but I do know that. And then also they're just saying, obviously, that the thermal heat it puts out could heat up something small, maybe a small tent or a cab of a vehicle if you were in an emergency situation. But, I lit it up last night, and you wait a while for the metal and the glass to kind of warm up, and I mean, no, it won't heat your house. But if you were cold somewhere and damp and lit this thing up and were able to huddle around it and use it to kind of warm your hands, I definitely think there's some effect there. You don't have a lot of good circulation when it's cold. The warm would help your hands feel good. I think there's some validity there. They also make, various models. This is the original. They make a little tea light model, which I think would obviously produce less heat. They have some ratings online. I wanted to say that they're saying this thing produces, I don't know, something like 450 watts, I guess, total of heat over the 9 hours or something to that effect. I have seen, though, that wax usually runs at about, give or take, if you're talking about heat, around 30, 35 watts for paraffin wax, if you can really make those relations. So that's about what you're working with heat-wise. So obviously it's not going to be a large, huge room, but again, like I say, having your hands around it and over it, I do think would be of some benefit. And then again, there is something to the moisture removal the flame does itself, as opposed to a much easier, say, LED light or something like that. Now, one of the cool things about this little deal here, we showed you earlier, was the reflector. When you get that, if the little tab portion there doesn't quite fit right, you can just kind of tweak it. I find if you put it in sideways like that first and then just kind of turn it up, it's a little easier to get in there. And you lock that in place, and then you've got the ability to kind of point the light where you want it to go and it won't point right at you, which I like. Let's see with that balance right there. Yeah, it will. Okay. So, I mean, it's kind of a tall and narrow unit, but it does balance here on my carpet on this blanket. So if you had something more firm, it would go easy. And then there's obviously the chain and the bale itself. You can hang it. Obviously, I probably wouldn't advise maybe hanging it from the roof of your tent, being that the heat's going up. But, I mean, really, I don't think it would burn anything necessarily, but I would just say I don't advise that. Get something solid to put it on. Okay, so we've got this deal here, which I like, again, for the heat reasons and that kind of thing, but one thing I wanted to compare it to or show you folks was this flashlight that I've got from Eddie Bauer. Now, it's also got like a little bale loop on it, the flashlight right there, and that's how it works. But the cool deal about this that I like, I think I would use it in conjunction with this, in that this isn't always necessarily easy to light and get to. Sometimes you just want to turn something on and turn it off. So this little deal here is a flashlight, but the top portion here unscrews, and then it slides up, and then it becomes a little LED style lantern you can hang. So I think these two together, obviously the benefits of the LED style would be that it doubles as a flashlight, that has the ability to do, you know, varied zooms and whatnot. But then it needs batteries, as like this one needs candles and that kind of thing. But there's no heat here. There's no moisture drying deal at all. So I think maybe these two in conjunction will be in my pack, the flashlight combo and the little lantern deal here. So anyways, folks, just wanted to show you that one. I think they're pretty cool little deals. They also make one that's is a three candle deal like this that would throw far more heat out. I've seen people. It doesn't really seem to boil water, but it looks like if you had a cup of coffee or something in the morning time or in the evening time, it would definitely keep it warm, a cup of soup or whatever kind of a deal. So anyways, I like these a lot. I just want to show it to you folks. Real easy to take care of. We'll just put that little portion down right there. And there it is. All right, folks, thanks for watching. This is Dub signing off. Have a good one.